Welcome back to Ferris Sports Update. Time to check in with Bulldog Hockey, and with us, head coach Bob Daniels. And Coach, welcome back to the show.
Good to be here, Rob.
Obviously, this past weekend you took on an in-state rival, Western Michigan. And before we get to the results of the weekend, obviously nice to continue to play Western Michigan here over the last several years.
Yeah, it really is, Rob. We've got a long tradition. Probably 45 years of playing against Western Michigan. You're going to see when we look at the highlights that both arenas are packed, and we draw better really for the in-state games, even though they're non-conference, and I think they do as well. Like their people there are very familiar with Ferris State, our program, and we've had some great battles in their rink, and it brings some excitement into their arena, but it does into ours as well. The nice thing too, it's an hour and 40 minutes down the road, so when we go play there, we've got a lot of our fans there. When they come up and play us, they've got a lot of their fans at our rink, and so it's exciting, and it's great to be able to play them. I think we have another 3-year contract we've signed that we're going to continue to play them, and so it's good, and it's healthy for both programs.
So go to some of the highlights. We'll start with Friday's game down in Kalamazoo with a young team going down. As you mentioned, that crowd, a difficult environment in which to play, but a tightly contested game.
Well, it was. It is a difficult crowd, and yeah, we can look at the highlights here. We've started Austin Shaw in this game. It's his first career game with us. Now he's in his 5th year of college hockey. He transferred from Princeton, and he's a grad transfer, and we're really glad to have him. I thought he played very well. Difficult environment, but so are a lot of the environments in the ECAC. We've played in Cornell over the years, and it's one of the more fun places to play. That's a rowdy place as well. You can see they scored their first goal there. They got the jump on us on a face-off. It's going to happen again later in the game, and it was certainly one of the things that we wanted to make adjustments at in between periods. We're down 1-0 at the end of one. Actually, I had good energy by the team. I could tell we were playing well. We were locked in pretty well. Here you'll see Justin McCallion get a goal on a line rush 4. We knot it back at 1. We give up a breakaway here on a penalty kill, but obviously Austin made a big save there.
They take the lead right here as they get the goal on the second opportunity. But again, your team comes back, and you'll be able to tie it up here going into the final period.
Yep, and Zach Yoder I don't think he gets an assist on that, but realistically his fingerprints were all over the goal. He's standing net front for us, and he does an excellent job of that.
Obviously, you've battled some injuries here early in the year. What kind of an opportunity is that giving some other guys to step up into the lineup?
Well, you know what, we are a pretty deep team, so we're missing a couple of good players in Marshall Moyson and Lucas Finner. Both of them would be in our if not top line, our top 2 lines. And so it's painful not to have them, but it is giving some of our younger kids some opportunities. And here, one of our younger guys makes a mistake on a coverage. That makes it 4-2 with about 4 minutes to go in the game. We ended up pulling the goalie, getting a couple looks with the goaltender pulled, but just couldn't score. So, yeah, we're getting some valuable minutes from some of the young kids, and they've played really well. You watch Jake Willits; he has really played well for us. I think he's a point a game as a defenseman. You look at Blake Evanow; he's played well. Dallas Tulik's got 3 goals on the season. So we're getting some real contributions from our young kids.
We'll go back to Saturday's game as you return back to Big Rapids, and as you mentioned, a great crowd on hand for Saturday night hockey.
Do we have to go back to Saturday? We do. It was a very good crowd, and I was really disappointed. I can say this over the last, I don't know how many years, there's very few times I've really walked out of the rink feeling really disappointed in our team and our performance. And Saturday qualified as probably one of the more disappointing evenings I've been involved with our team. Here you'll see at the end of one, it's going to be 1-1. They score a face-off goal. They scored a face-off goal the night before, so obviously an area we got to tighten up. But we come back. We're going to tie this thing shortly here at 1. You can see we're getting some opportunities here. It'll be Dominic Lutz that scores the tying goal here. It was a good shot, good release with traffic going to the net. Now, at the end of 1, it's 1-1. Shots were 6-4. I think they'll show the scoreboard here in a second. You can see it's 6-4 in their favor. But I knew it. I walked into the locker room between periods. I told our coach, I said, we're dead. I don't know why. I don't know what the reason. We have no energy. Our bench is quiet. And here it is, a 1-1 game, and we're right in the middle of it. But I could sense things weren't well. And I don't know, the problem is at that point there's not a whole lot you can do. It's just and I've talked to some of the players after the game and today before practice, trying to come up with, what's the reasoning? Had we gone too hard for too long in practice? Why was it that we had like no energy? We didn't have our legs, and they didn't have a reason for it. I kind of think myself, I take some of the blame, or a lot of the blame, because on Saturday we normally show video in the morning and then a little video before the game. Well, we had a long meeting on Saturday morning. There's a lot I wanted to go over, and probably, we did a half-hour video when you consider it's only a 60-minute game, and doing a half-hour video in our morning meeting, and then we have a 5:40 meeting before our 7 o'clock games, and that we showed probably another 10 minutes of video. I think we had paralyzed our guys. I really do, and I take full blame for it. The other mistake I made in this game was really, hindsight's always so good, but after Austin Shaw had played the night before, Roney had given up 4, and I pulled him in the second, and I put Austin Shaw in. And when I did that, I should have gone right to Carter McPhail. Austin had played the night before. He's coming off surgery where he hasn't played a lot of hockey leading into the game. Would have been nice just to give him the night off. I think he thought, mentally he wasn't prepared. Where if I'd have gone with Carter, the freshman, he would have had some energy. And we did go with Carter in the third period, and he played well. So I made 2 mistakes that day. One, which I think dearly cost our team, and that was having overly extensive video session on the day of a game, and it may not seem a lot, but when you start throwing, you have guys at the rink all day on Saturday, and you expect them to compete at night. That's too much to ask.
Obviously, you put that behind you now as you get back into WCHA action this weekend, and a very good Bemidji State team coming to town.
Yeah, they are. They really, score-wise dismantled Lake State. Scores, I think, 6-1, 5-1 on the weekend. Lake State's a good team. And for them to get beat 5-1, 6-1, wow. And I know Bemidji, if you look back at what they've done this year, they've got some really impressive wins, some tough games on the road, and have done very well. So they're one of the teams that was picked early in the year to be one of the top teams in our conference, and they're proving everyone correct.
Obviously, when you don't have a result you want, like maybe on Saturday night, how important is it for your guys to come out and be ready to play this weekend and hopefully have a chance to maybe redeem themselves?
Well, it's going to be really important, and we do have to start with some redemption on that. And so we've got to come out. If nothing else, we've got to have energy, and we've got to have compete. Something we've had in abundance this year. I've really liked this team. I've loved our compete level. And you look at Saturday's game and you say to yourself, what do we do? And I think the answer right now, if we hadn't had such good levels of compete in all the other games, I think, this could have been a really tough week on our guys. I would have beaten on them in practice. But I don't feel like that. I'd like to turn the page. I don't want to overanalyze Saturday's game. I'm going to take it as a fluke, and moon, stars, everything was aligned incorrectly for us. We'll move on from there, and let's embrace some of the games where our compete was really good, and let's get back to that.
I know it'll be nice to be back at home this weekend for 2 games before you head to Alaska for a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's interesting. We'll play 2 with Bemidji. Then we get on a flight on Wednesday afternoon for Fairbanks, Alaska. We play Friday, Saturday in Fairbanks. Then over Thanksgiving week, where the guys will have minimal school missed, we're actually going to bus down from Fairbanks to Anchorage, spend the week there, play Friday, Saturday, come home, and we'll have the following weekend off, and we'll need it. But it'll be a nice long road trip, and we look forward to that as well. But this weekend we're at home. We want to take advantage of that.
Well, Coach, best of luck here against Bemidji State Friday and Saturday night at the Everglades Ice Arena.
Thank you, Rob.
That'll do it for Ferris Sports Update. Reminder, you can follow all the action and get all the results online at ferrisstatebulldogs.com. Have a great week.